So, on March 24th, 2017, Devin Booker scored 70 points and some people weren't fazed. They even called it overrated, meaningless, and empty stats. But here's the real truth. The Celtics threw everything at him, double teams, traps, and he still torched them. He was only 20 years old, playing on one of the worst rosters in the league, going against one of the best defenses, and still made history. I know on this play, if we look at the score, most people would say it was already a done deal. But if we jump forward to 1:50 left in the fourth quarter, it was an 11-point game after this putback, so that should show you just how hot Booker got.
Gets 2 more.
So as we come back to the initial play, Booker could attack towards the left since Brown's top foot is up high, but if you look at the floor, most of the defense is on the left side. So Booker decides to attack towards the right side for 2 reasons. One is to obviously go away from the crowded side, and the other is because if the strong side defender helps out, it'll make for an easy kick to the corner for a 3. At this point, it's all about beating Brown, who's on his hip, and the weak side help rotating over, so that's where Booker uses this high arcing floater off the glass to jumpstart his scoring. The next time Booker catches the ball is pretty much in the same area as last play, but this time we see the screen being set high. If Booker was to come off going left, it would give the defense a ton of time to get in position to stop him, so Booker decides to go right once again. And I already know what you're thinking. Well, now look, he has 2 defenders standing right in front of him. Well, hold on one second. Here's where learning how to navigate on the floor comes in handy. As D-Book understands Marcus Smart wants to cut off the sideline, so he crosses back towards the middle, high carries over Olynyk when he tries to reach in, and just in case the big would have contested, this flow over the front of the rim is easy. This skill in navigating on the floor is what makes Booker such a special scorer, as on this play, you see Jaylen Brown chase over the top, and that's due to Devin Booker being someone who doesn't shy away from letting it fly. But this now puts Brown in a tough position by trailing from behind, and for Booker, he's not even worried about Brown as his focus is more so on what the secondary man is going to do when he catches. And with Alex Len sort of sealing off Olynyk while Booker pulls the play out to the left, this drifter over the contest is good for an and 1. This off-ball movement of Booker's isn't just limited to him getting into his shot, because if defenders think they can get up tight on him and play the top side to take away any popping out for a shot, he'll just outsmart you to curl around the screen towards the rim, and that's a beautiful pass from Jared Dudley. Easy buckets like that, and these runouts where Booker can go score with no resistance is what allows him to get into his flow, and this is where things truly get scary. A lot of us know Booker to be this mid-range assassin, but he's also a 3-point silencer, so that's why you see both defenders try to pick him up high instead of backing up a step or 2. In theory, this would be perfect, as it takes away the 3-ball, forcing him to create a different look, but once he has you sliding on his side while he's attacking strong, it's nothing for him to initiate the contact with a slight bump to get you off of him. And let's check the calendar, it ain't Sunday, so that bank is open. In that last play, we seen Booker sort of use a hezzy to make the defense pause for a brief second before attacking, and when going at Jaylen Brown here, we're gonna see the same thing. Sure, all the defenders are ready to rotate over, and when you're attacking a set defense that's keying in on you so you don't keep cooking them, this is where you can't be predictable. Most guys in the league would try and blow by Brown to then either attack this big straight on or make a move in the paint to try and go up on the other side for a finish. Trust me, as much as that sounds good, it maybe could work. Booker likes the more simple approach to the game, or shall we say the path of least resistance, so once he has Brown on his hip like we discussed in the earlier play, he uses that off arm to bump him so he can get all the way to his spot and wham! Right here is where that extra sauce of unpredictability gets sprinkled in. Because first, the defense thought he would attack all the way, so once he didn't, they started to play for the shot. But once he didn't shoot it right away, that made Jaylen Brown get on that trampoline, and it may be after hours, but that drop-off box is always open. One thing I noticed with Booker is that he won't let you get away with any mistake. When Jaylen Brown gets up high on this action to try and stop the screen effectiveness, this only puts him in a worse position at this point. Because now Booker flips the play to attack right, which Jared Dudley does a wonderful job at flipping the screen fast. So now D-Book only has to worry about Olynyk, who he can deliver a smooth in and out cross to, which gets him to the middle of the floor. And honestly, I know, this isn't a lot of space. But when you're dealing with a high level shooter, any amount of daylight is far too much. Like trust me, I'm being serious. Booker will see you as a mismatch, pull it out to get set, and although we see him use the handle, it's not even about crossing up his defender. It's about using those moves that are already cemented in his bag to get to his desired spot on the floor, and once he gets there, well, it's straight cash. I know a lot of you love the glitz and glamour of the handles, but it's something about seeing a guy confidently use a up fake to test his defender, and if they don't bite, it's like Booker takes it as a sign of disrespect and shows smart to never do that again. This mid-range game of deep book is something he could go to early in his career, no matter if he had 2 defenders in his grill or not. And hey, if he got out in transition uncovered, he wouldn't just try and force his way to the in-between area just because he likes it, as Al Horford is right in front of him and Jaylen Brown is closing the gap. So what does Book do instead? He goes ahead and fires it from deep. If you ask me, I don't know why the defense wasn't attached to him anytime he had the ball. Maybe it could be because he was muscling defenders off to get to the basket to draw the foul plus 1 more at the line. I don't really know, but hey, it doesn't matter if you're scared or not, because if you give up that small amount of space like we discussed earlier, you already know it's bombs away. Just like that mid-range, Booker doesn't always need the ball in his hands to create a look from deep. As Phoenix gets out on the break here, you can see Olynyk is matched up with Booker if you direct your attention to the left side of your screen. Now that everyone is looking, watch how Booker doesn't just run to the rim, as he instead spaces out to the 3-point line, and with supreme confidence off the catch, this is pure butter. Although Olynyk was close up on him on that play, it simply didn't matter as Book was zoned in, and when you make a fatal mistake of going under the screen against someone who has been lighting your team up, just go ahead and throw 3 points on the board. Like bruh, I'm not playing. Booker was so locked in that he could get into a shot with or without the ball by using his movement on the floor, and when his sights were set on that bucket, even the Boston crowd was cheering for him when he made the shot.
Shooting again. You gotta be kidding me.
To score 70 points at just 20 years old is not some normal accomplishment, and he did this while having a true shooting percentage of 68%, which is absurd. So call it overrated, empty stats, or whatever you want to say, but just know this is one of the best performances in NBA history. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.